Welcome to the 136th episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome returning viewers, and for those of you watching us for the first time, we're so glad you could be here. We have lots to talk about today. This is part 4 of our little trip that we went to Collingwood. It was a little trip just kind of passing through Huntsville, and we stopped at a yarn store there called Knit 3, was it?
Knitting 3 Together.
Yes, and we stopped at kind of a drive-by type thing, but we have some information about Huntsville and where we were, and we're looking forward to sharing that with you. But before we begin, Colleen will talk about what we're wearing.
Well, it's a little warm outside, so we decided we would make it a little easier. So both of us are wearing the Film, and that's by Laura Nelkin. Now, the yarn that this is called Anzula Breeze. It's a silk and linen, and there we go.
Voila.
So it's a double wrap, which is lovely. And then you could either put in the clasp like it's given in the kit if you want to order a kit. I think you could go onto Laura Nelkin's Etsy shop. Or I think, you know what might be good is a magnetic clip.
Yeah, well, this clip works fine for me.
Yeah, I had to get your help to do mine.
Oh, okay.
So, but anyway, that is definitely your color.
Yes, I like it.
And I like surprising me with things. So
now, we've put these in a podcast before.
We have, that's for sure. Yeah, and it's kind of nice sometimes to order a kit and then try it out. There's things in the video, and then you can start putting together your own beads and your own yarn, and you can do it that way.
Kind of neat with the beads in there, and it's so light you don't even know you have it on.
And the neat thing about this pattern is it has 2 ways that you have to put the beads on, so it's a great learning thing.
Oh, nice.
Exactly. So that's what we're wearing, and next we're going to talk about finished objects. My first finished objects, and there's 2 of them, are the basic pom-pom beanie by Destiny Meyer. And what I used was the Bernat Softy Chunky. So one of them is a denim color, and the other one is called, I think they call this rose gray, or gray rose, or something like that.
That's cute.
Yeah, and that Bernat Softy Chunky has a little bit more density to it, if that's the right word. It just makes the pom-poms be able to stand up a little bit better. So we put our tag on. These are going to go in the bucket for our craft shows. But every little bit helps. So I'm pretty good. I think I could make one in a night, and then to have to do pom-poms. I have to do pom-poms separately because it works on my hands, because you tighten it up so they're not going to fall apart.
Very nice.
Well, thank you. So that's the first 2. Now, my next finished object was a suggestion by one of our viewers, and that was the Pearl Soho Classic Ribbed Hat. And this yarn, I have to find this yarn for May, because she loves this yarn.
I love that hat.
That is such a cute hat, and it would fit, and that's what the viewer was saying. It fits all kinds of sizes. You make it long so you can turn up the brim. Now this is James C. Brett Driftwood DK, so it's anti-pilling acrylic. Oh my goodness.
Gosh, that is beautiful. And
I love
they're
it.
right. Look at that.
Like, I know. It's a great hat.
It's a great little hat.
So we may have to have a few
of
those
yes, I think so.
Booth.
Yeah, I love the
colors. Yes, I like the colors, and I think that's part of the reason why we like it so much is that yarn. So I know I've checked out, I can't remember where I saw that I could get some, but I might have to do that.
That's beautiful. I love that.
It is. So that was a great idea. So thank you, viewer. Appreciate that. Now, my next finished object, Muskoka Yarn Connection. And here it is. This is designed by Michelle Meadows, and it is the Millie Cowl. And the yarn is actually dyed by Michelle, and it is called Hand Dyed Creative Musings, Muskoka Yarn Goddess, and this is called Smoosh. So it is merino, alpaca, and silk. Some of the softest yarn I've ever held in my life.
Wow.
So there it is.
Oh, it is beautiful.
Yes, so I blocked it so you can see that the pattern opens up. And this bottom, it's funny, I thought you had to turn it up but then I got to the end, and it is just the neatest edging. It is
Have you never
amazing.
done that edging before?
I've never done it, but I love it. I love it.
That's beautiful, Colleen.
Exactly.
Great yarn, you're right.
I can
That's
hardly
really
wait
nice yarn.
to wear it. It's a little warm right now, but
nice.
I can hardly wait to wear that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So, Michelle, brilliant pattern. Love it. So that's that. Now, there's lots of things over here. So let's talk about the next thing. Now, I made one of these for May, and I had enough yarn left. Now, I'm trying to be good, use project bags, but in here is this, and it is a Riverlands bandana cowl, and that's by Melissa Mayhe.
Now this one you can't turn over, or you can turn it
You
over?
could turn it over. I know when I tried it on, you said I looked like I was in a straitjacket or something, but
No, a neck brace, I
a
think.
neck brace, a straitjacket, yeah, neck brace.
You know, it was like...
Yeah, but the whole idea is when I get up early and have to go do groceries, to just pull it over my head. It's the perfect thing to go shopping because that's going to keep your neck while you're getting there,
Right.
but not be too hot.
Right, when you're in the store.
Yes. So this
That's
yarn,
neat. That's
so
kinda
I
neat
was
they
able
did
to
it.
make the one for May, which does have the fold over one, and then I made this one for me. And this is Songbird Yarn and Fibers, the Cerulean Warbler, and it is her bulky one. So it's 80% superwash merino and 20%
Love the
nylon.
color, and I love the
Exactly.
feel of this yarn.
I know
too.
it
Beautiful
looks.
yarn.
It looks like why are you bothering? But when you put it on, you think, oh my gosh, that would keep my neck warm
Right,
and do that, but
Yeah.
not be too bulky under a coat.
right. Really nice.
Exactly, and the fact that I could make two out of one skein of yarn,
That's nice.
brilliant. So that's that. Now, my next finished object. Here we go. Are the Fairground socks, and that's by K.F. Jones. Now, the yarn that I used.
They look like they licorice all sorts socks.
They do a little bit. They do a little bit. Let me just grab. Sorry for having to reach out of frame. So I'll trade you that for
Okay.
these. So there are the socks. Now the main is the striped is the self-striping sock set by Toronto Maple Leafs, and that's by Polka Dot Creek. It's lovely yarn. Now what came with this was a gray, but I wanted to use the blue. So I found this opal, and it's pullover and sock and wool. And there is what the ball band
That's the
looks
one
like.
that's called maple leaf? No.
No, the stripe is the maple leaf.
Oh, okay.
This is just a color that was really close to that.
To go into the toes.
In toes, heels,
Oh,
and
I
cuffs,
see,
just to
okay.
make it stretch a little bit more. And I love this pattern. Like it makes it kind of wavy. I really think it's kind
And
of
I
fun.
see there's kind of texture in the
Exactly.
top part here. There's a little
Exactly.
texture. It's nice.
And depending on your yarn, depends on what it ends up looking like, but I like that. And this heel is K. Jones butterfly heel, which is lovely. I really
Nice.
like that. So that's that. We're getting quite a stack here. Now, what else is over here? Oh, presents for May.
You've
Here
been
we go.
busy.
Yes, in here, a couple of presents for May. So first
Is
of
this
all,
one of the bags you sewed too?
yes, I sold this bag too.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what's in this lovely little bag. So first of all,
Oh, nice.
I had to make May a Christmas ornament. So I had made
Thank
her
you.
socks with that same self-striping, but I wanted to get my socks done to make sure there was enough left.
These are great. These are good Toronto maple leaf. We could put I could make a wooden leaf and paint it blue,
Right.
and we could have that on display for Toronto maple leaf.
Oh, you could. That's a good
Yeah.
plan. Always full of plants. Very nice.
The problem is I have all these display ideas, and we've only got it's 8x8, 8x3
Maybe
table.
we need a whole store.
And
Do you
I
think we
could
need
use
a
the
whole
whole
store.
table.
One store. That's what we need.
We
So
do need a
that's
store.
that. Now there's something else.
We
in
don't
here.
want to have a store because it ties you down. We don't want
That
to be
is
tied
true.
down.
That's true. And here you go.
Oh, nice.
There is the other present for you. So I
Oh,
was
thank
going through my
you.
beads and I found those beads. I thought that's colors
That's
that May
really
likes.
nice.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah. So I'm happy. So
we
it's
could sell
faceted.
these too, you know?
Yes, we could.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, and that sits right nicely.
Yeah, I
on there.
like that.
Exactly.
Look at that.
Look at you. She's
Bling,
all
bling,
blingy.
bling.
That's for sure. Now,
I
there's
think I'll just
more
keep
over
that on.
here. There's more. Oh, yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
What else?
So you've
is over
been
here?
quite busy. I
have.
work away in the garage, and you've been in the house. I don't really know what you're up to, but it appears bracelets and and balls.
Exactly. We've got to make a few little presents for me because she does work so hard. All right. Let's see what's over here. So I decided, there's many things I decide, but I decided I would try and do this punch needle little kit, which is a little llama with a little heart. And I have to admit, nice little kit, but very frustrating. And the reason for that is the background fabric was a nylon. And so when the punch goes through, if you do the punch too close to the other one, it's not strong enough. So it was a learning curve.
Here's a thought. I'm just going to ask you something.
Yeah.
So say you don't like the nylon background.
Right.
You can take this pattern maybe and use like a carbon paper, draw it on a nicer
Yep.
kind of a background and do it on that way rather
Yes,
than
I
do
could.
it on the nylon.
Yeah, and you'll feel this and you'll understand what I'm talking about. So anyway.
Ooh.
She doesn't like the feeling of nylon.
Ooh.
So anyway, so it's cute. It worked out. I could put that in a project bag just on the outside. And May's going, oh, I don't know what. But anyway, it was a good learning curve. I thought I could enjoy to do some punch needle things.
Do you like the actual punch needle of it? Or
Yes,
no?
it was fun. I enjoyed that part. And then there's a little bit that you have to do around the outside.
It's kind of cute. Like the thing's cute, but this is I don't like the feel of nylon.
No.
You know, people that used to wear nylons. Do people still wear nylons?
Oh, I don't know, but they're disgusting.
But I never wore them back in the day, and I wouldn't wear them now because I can't stand that silky feeling. Like,
I know.
like this.
Like this.
Ugh.
That's right. So I did enjoy punch needles. So I'm going to take a look around and see other kits, but I want to make sure I get, I mean, this wasn't an expensive kit. It was just to see what punch needle was like it. Yeah. And it was okay. I enjoyed it.
How is it different than needlework? Like the other,
Well, you need to have this punch tool, and it didn't come in the kit. You had to buy this part. It wasn't like super expensive. So you just punch it in and bring it up, punch it in and bring it up.
Oh, okay.
So it is a learning curve because you have to know how far down
So you don't have to know how to sew then, just punch.
Just punch. You could do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could do
No,
this.
thank you.
No,
I think
thank
I'll
you.
pass.
Okay. You just need your scroll saw in your hat. All right. Then, oh my goodness, there's still more. And yet, there's more. So I decided to get to my sewing machine, and I tried a few things. So I had made the little wallets that are for cards, and I had given one to my mom. Oh my gosh. Snap. There you go. It's a good snap.
Your money's not going to fall out of that one.
No. And my mom had said some of her cards weren't fitting. So I thought, well, I'll try and make it a bit bigger. So I did. And I thought, I'm just going to make this yarny related because we're getting close. We're getting really close. I think
2,000 subscribers.
to 2,000 subscribers.
And we're going to have a giveaway.
And we're going to have a giveaway. So I thought, I'll try the size out, see how it goes. And so I've made it a little bigger. This is not for my mom. I'm going to take it to my mom and say, do you like this size bigger? And then I'll make her one. But I wanted to give it a try.
Right. I think it's nice to have the two sizes, actually.
I think so. Yeah, it's
So
just a little bit bigger.
Because I wouldn't pick this one, because I
know.
this one's too big. But a lot of people would.
Right,
Because
would like it.
Yeah, would like it.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So we did a little yarny.
Yeah, I like that.
That's
so,
good.
be watching out for our giveaway.
That's right. We got to get to 2,000.
You might
but
get
we're
one of
working away.
these.
Exactly.
And
That's
how long
great.
would it take you to make something like this?
Well, you have to design the pattern first. I had to make all the measurements be a little bit more. So,
So not designing the pattern, say. So you design
it probably would take me
An
an
hour?
hour and a half or
Oh,
so.
nice. So we could have 10 in a day.
I think they call that a sweatshop. I think that's what they call that.
And I'll pay you 10 cents an hour.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Okay, so that's that. So I like the size. It's good. Now, the other thing that I tried, because I'd seen this on Instagram, and that is, it looks like a little square, which it is. But what you do is you sew stuff that you put on shells that grip things. And then the idea is this, if you need to open a jar lid, you can do that.
That would be cool.
Exactly.
You put it over a lid and then you twist it. Because sometimes you're looking for something that's...
Exactly.
Like I actually did that the other day when I was looking for... We were doing some red sauce. Oh, red sauce on this. You wouldn't be happy.
Yeah,
and I couldn't get the lid open and I could have used one of these.
There you go.
But that's nice. It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, it is.
And how is it to sew the rubbery
Well,
material
I thought
on
it would
that?
be a problem, and it wasn't a problem at all.
No?
It had, the only problem is, if you think about it, you put the fabric here, the grippy part's there, and you're sewing on your machine, and it keeps trying to grip. So it's a little
doing its
interesting.
job anyway.
It was doing its job.
Yeah,
so
that's
there you
great.
go.
That's lovely.
Yeah,
Different.
so that's that. Oh, more. All right. Whew. Now, I was working on this. It's called the Austin bag, designed by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. And the idea is in her summer of stitching, the first part was making the bag. So you saw my slow stitching, and now here is the bag all done.
That's beautiful.
I'm really happy. So
I love these little, these little pieces of fabric you put on there.
Exactly. So you had to, that's the slow stitching part, and then this is linen.
Oh,
That's-
nice.
Yeah.
It feels quilted or so. Is it quilted? Or?
There is some batting, yeah.
It feels very thick and substantial.
Exactly.
Look at that. Oh,
There we go.
Look at that.
So the
I love
idea is for the second part of summer stitching, there is going to be a pattern, and you'll use that bag.
That's nice. Very nice.
So initially, like it's linen on the outside. Kay Jones had put linen on the inside, and I thought linen's expensive, and I've got lots of this lovely fabric which matches beautifully. So it allowed
It
me
does.
to make the ties. There you go. The drawstrings, perhaps, is why it's a drawstring bag. It helped me make those, and then the lining to match.
Great job.
Exactly. And I put this on Facebook, which I don't go on Facebook very much, but there is a Bakery Bears Facebook group. And a few people commented that they liked my colors and they liked the little bees and butterflies on there.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was fun. That was my first.
Wow.
Do not panic. Your colors don't have to be perfect. And it worked out. Happy with that.
More?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
One more. And that is the fact that in the fall, so in September, October, November, we are going to be doing some craft shows. And so we make soap. And so the last soap that I made, so it's not quite ready to be used yet. Give it another 6 weeks.
We've probably made about 10 different soaps. So
Yes.
every day, I don't know how you have time to do this, because every day we're making a batch of soap, or, you know, lemongrass soap, chocolate lavender soap,
All kinds
oats
of
and
things.
honey, bees and honey.
Yeah.
We got all kinds of soaps.
Exactly.
And then you make the rainbow soap that we
That's
make.
right.
That's a big seller.
Yeah.
Because you can't really buy a rainbow soap in the stores.
No.
But tell us about the whole process of making a rainbow soap. Maybe you should show it, and
I'll
then
show it first. Okay.
and then you'll
Excuse me.
understand. Then you'll totally understand
That's right.
the process in this.
So here it is. So you can see, I'll let Vanna over here hold
Yes.
the soap.
Okay.
So you can see that there's 6 colors. Now, so you have to understand that the batch of soap is going to have to be divided into 6. So you have to divide the lye into 6. So that's what I started with. So we put something called sodium lactate in so that it comes out of the mold nicely. So you mix that in and then you separate out the lye. So that's whatever amount the lye is divided by 6. Okay, that's the first thing. Then you have to mix up the colors. So you mix up the colors. Everything's the color that it is except for the red, which we have to make.
Because they don't make red, do they?
Woo!
Oof, that was a good catch.
Oh my gosh.
They don't make the red,
Okay.
so you have to make 3 colors to get the
Exactly.
red.
Remember what they are?
I think one of them's pink,
Mm-hmm.
purple, and I'm not sure the
Yellow's the other one.
yellow.
Exactly.
So pink, purple, and yellow make this.
That red.
That is unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. So anyways, you have to mix up all the colors. Then you have to mix up all the oils together. And then you have to make sure you get the weight of that. And that's a little bit different every time you make a batch. And then you have to divide that by 6. So then you start off, so you have to start at the bottom, which is the purple. So it is oils, and then you have to put in the lye, and you have to mix it up until it emulsifies. Then you have to put in the scent, which is also you have to divide by 6. So you do that, put the scent in, then you mix in the purple, mix it all in, put it in the bottom of the mold, which May did a great job making, and that's 1 layer done.
But you have to wait till that layer kind of hardens up a little bit.
Exactly. And then you go through that process again
5
and
times.
again and again.
And then we charge, and then you trim it,
Cut it,
and then you
trim it,
put
stamp
our
it.
stamp on there, and then it takes you all day to do that
Yes,
because
it
of the
takes
waiting period.
That's right.
And the figuring
Right.
it out.
Yeah.
And we only charge $9 for this. I think we need to up the price.
Well, we had talked actually about it being $10 because the price of olive oil, which we use, has doubled.
Oh, okay. And there's a lot of more grams in this than a regular.
Exactly.
bar.
So normally we don't use the whole thing, but for the rainbow, because we need all the room to
Right.
make the colors. Yeah. So I think $10 is what we've had to do.
And it's kind of a unique gift, and it's kind of a
Exactly.
neat gift. So
Yeah.
anyway, hard work. You made a couple of these batches. You made about 32 bars of these.
Yes.
And they turned out great. Like, I
Yeah.
love the lines there. So nice job.
Thank you
Looking
so
forward
much.
to selling more of those.
So that's that. Oh, one more thing. I keep talking. I'm so sorry. But it is all about the booth. Here we go.
Oh yes, we've got busy time.
towels.
Very busy time of year.
Tea towels. Tea towels. Tea towels, all kinds of colors, all kinds of patterns. There we go. So we've been working on those as well.
That'll be nice. Those are great
Exactly.
gifts, even for
They
us
are.
to take as housewarming gifts.
Exactly.
They're awesome, and we usually
Yeah.
sell a lot of those at the fair. So if
Exactly.
you're interested and you have a booth and you want to know what sells, those will sell.
Yes, absolutely. There's one
Every time.
person that's basically what's all in their entire booth.
Yes, and the first time we went was a real learning curve. We
Right.
kept calling, put them in plastic bags, kind of thing.
Yeah.
People didn't want any part of that.
No.
As soon as we took them out of the bags, they started to
start
sell because then people can touch it, and I
see.
think that's part of shopping for yarn and different things. And
Right.
soaps they can pick up, they can touch it, and
exactly.
smell it and.
So, and the thing with the tea towels is because some people that make them, the tea towels they use are not quite as
Good quality.
good quality.
You
I
use good
wasn't. I
quality
didn't want to
towels.
say that, but that's right.
I
They're
don't
not
mind
quite-
saying it. They're bad quality.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but they're not. They're not as nice towels that you use.
No,
Yeah.
they're kind of chintzy.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you're that old, you know Jinsey.
Chintzy, yes.
So those, in all that immenseness things, are my finished objects in May. How about you?
I don't know, honestly, Colleen, where you get the time to do all this,
I
but that's absolutely amazing. We really don't. We started early in the morning,
Yeah.
and we don't really finish till late at night.
Correct.
And this time of year,
Yeah.
but it's fun. Like we
Yeah.
really love what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's when you say you love what you do,
Yeah.
you don't work a day in your life.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
kind of a nice, pleasant experience.
Now, oh, go ahead.
Yes, no, you go ahead.
And every once in a while, as it's getting later in the night, I'll get one of these. And I go, what? She says, okay, you're falling asleep and your hands are still knitting. I went, oh, okay. Maybe it's time to put it down.
Well, sometimes Colleen has had to correct her mistakes in the morning because
I
she's
know.
been knitting as she's been sleeping, which is I find really odd. Can you imagine being out there doing my woodworking and sleeping?
No.
Ooh, that's
No,
scary.
That's right.
Yes. So I've been quite, helping Colleen with the soaps and everything.
that's right.
The cleanups and
Right.
organizing all
Yeah.
that. So we've been doing that and trying to get ready for the booths. I know they're not coming up till September, October, November,
Right.
our sales, but there's a lot of preparation to get involved. There's, new cards we have to make. I have
That's
to make
right.
sure the displays are okay, the tablecloths are okay. We've
That's
ordered
right.
some tablecloths, new tablecloth. So I was busy because we had cards last year, and we sat them on a table. We didn't
That's
have a
right.
card holder, so
That's right.
I ended up making a card holder.
Look at this.
I made
so
a couple
good.
of those. And the
It's
cool
beautiful.
thing was I found this wood that I had, and it's called tiger wood. It's the
Oh,
most
it's
beautiful
beautiful.
wood, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So I thought, since we have a new card holder, we need new cards, because the last ones, I didn't realize they looked bigger on the
the
screen.
screen. Yes, they did.
And people were kind of squinting, so I made new cards
Right.
with our faces on there and our
Right.
email.
Right.
And then on the back, it's nice and big, our YouTube channel, which is
Right.
MC Knitting Adventures, Facebook, and our Instagram.
Yeah.
And so I made new cards, and those turned out quite nice. I'm
They're
very
really
happy,
nice.
and they sit nice in the holder.
And the holder. It's great.
Now the holder, I just have to have a finish on it yet. Still, I
Right,
haven't done
right.
that yet.
Okay, it looks great.
I'm gonna do a video on how I do a finish.
Oh,
I'll make
perfect.
my own finish.
Yes, you do.
And since I love this wood so much, I thought that would make great jewelry.
Yes, it would. I
'Cause
agree with
A
you.
lot of times with jewelry, you kind of attach two different types of wood if you wanted to, and then to get a
Right, right.
certain look.
Yeah.
And with this, it's all in one piece.
Wow.
So I made a little heart just for you. A little heart, and I don't know if you can see the hole in there. You could maybe put a chain in there.
Right.
And the corner, and I love it. I'm gonna make some more of those because I just
Okay.
love that wood.
I love
Beautiful.
it too. May will be in the garage making things, and I'll say, "Oh, I want that. I just want that." And then I think, "Oh, she's probably making this to sell, but I want that."
I've been making puzzles for kids. I mean,
Yeah.
dinosaur puzzles, elephants puzzles. I can't really bring them down here.
No.
I made a moose, Canadian moose.
Mm-hmm.
This was kind of cute puzzle. And some of them stand up, some of them lean down. I'm
Okay.
busy doing that.
Very good.
I made some more dolphins.
Oh, these are beautiful. Look at the blue.
And so I made those,
Mm-hmm.
and I finished my dolphin video, so I'm hoping to get that up in a couple of days. So I've been
Okay,
working on the
excellent.
video,
Yeah.
working on soap.
That's right.
It just seems to be everything every day.
Exactly.
Plus playing pickleball.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Yeah, I know.
anyway, that is what I've been up to, Colleen, and that's it. That's
Good.
Yeah.
And next, we're going to talk about works in progress. My first work in progress was supposed to be this shawl, which is using Fair Cotton Infinity by Katia. It's 200 grams. So it was going to be a big shawl.
Is this the pattern on the back?
Yes, it's a chart.
What chart?
And I started it, and I thought, it's lovely, but I thought it's going to be way too big. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try something different. So what I decided to do was do the Dragon Belly Shawl by Joanna Lindahl. And I've done this before. I think I've done 2 or 3. And the other thing I've also done is made them just small and then sewed the backs together, like the ends together, so it made like a cowl, which they were really nice. So here's what I did.
It did look like a blanket almost, didn't it?
It did. So
that's
here's what I did. Now, if you are keeping an eye on me, you're going to say, Colleen, there's orange and yellow in here. And guess what's not in here? Orange and yellow. So what I did was I worked up to the point that the orange and yellow is. I thought about it. I thought about, am I going to put it in? And then I thought, it's not, those aren't colors that I wear, so I'm not going to do that. So anytime I would come to those colors, and there were 1, 2, 3 times I would come to those colors, I'd take that part out.
Oh, okay.
So the good news is I didn't want something big, so this makes it smaller. Now I'm going to block this, and it'll open it up a little bit.
That's nice.
Yeah, I like this. It sits nicely,
Right.
and I love, these are colors that I wear
Right,
a lot.
beautiful colors. Yeah,
Exactly.
I
And the
like
neat
that.
thing is, even taking the colors out, it starts with this kind of purpley blue and goes all the way and comes back to the purpley blue.
That's nice, yeah.
So I thought that was kind of fun. So
Nice.
that's that. Now, what I do have left is this. So this is all the orange and yellows. I have this left. So what I'm thinking that I will do is I am going to do the part of this pattern to do this, because this will make it longer, and then it can be a mini shawl or a cowl for somebody who needs a Christmas present.
Very nice.
That's what I'm thinking about. So I was trying to plan. So that's that. But it's technically my crocheting is over, but it needs to be blocked.
It's not knitted, that's crochet.
It's crocheted. And if you love crochet, this is a great pattern, and it really does sit nicely. You can put, I don't have enough yarn for, or cotton. I don't have enough for tassels. I've put tassels on some of the other ones, or one of the
You
other
could do
ones.
orangey tassels and yellow tassels.
Yes, but the whole idea is I didn't want those colors. So I'm not going to put those in. So we're just going to hide those. Okay, so that's that. Then, now, my son and his girlfriend are in Hong Kong, and my son's birthday is in May, and my son's girlfriend's birthday is in September. Well, I've taken care of this year, so I'm working for next year, and you may think, well, you've got tons of time, but I have to mail this away in February. So I decided it was time to get going. So I thought I would make some socks. So first of all, for my son's girlfriend, I'm using the Fairground Socks pattern again, and you'll see the difference in how this comes up. Now, this is a cotton, it's called Cotton Cascada, and it has wool, and it has cotton in it, and there's a little bit of some nylon in there. So here is the,
Oh,
guess what we're going to say?
Ho.
Ho! Oh, I was a little late on that one. So anyway, so I've got one sock done. This pattern, to me, this looks like a bouquet of flowers.
It is. It's
Like I
kinda-
really,
it's kind of like
really
lavender or
I
something.
know.
Lavender field, it looks
And
like.
this feels beautiful, by the way. It's coming up very nicely. I'm very happy with this. I did this one with the heel flap, and I'm really, really glad that I did. I think they're going to be nice. Her feet are a little bit bigger than mine, but not much bigger. And
Nice.
so I just knit away.
Beautiful.
Exactly. And the pattern, it's a 4-row repeat, and it just goes great.
Beautiful. Those are really
So I'm
nice.
really, really happy with that.
Color's great. Texture's good. It's
Sometimes
all
I
good.
think, oh, maybe Colleen knit socks, but no, I don't. I know.
That's a 10 out of 10 for that pattern.
Oh, thank you. I do like the pattern. And depends on, you can do it with a plain yarn, and it comes up different as well. Now, for my son, I thought I'm going to try a different sock pattern because why not? And so this is called Wise Hilda's Basic Ribbed Sock Pattern, and that's by Kate Atherley. And what I wanted to do is I was digging in my stash. It's always good to dig in your stash. And I found Cadia Socks Bombay. So this has cotton, wool, and polyamide. and a little bit of polyester. So it feels very much the same as that other yarn.
Very nice.
Now, this to me looks almost like a store-bought sock because it's a 3x1 rib all the way down. So I'm now to the point that I'm doing the foot. I've done the decreases, and this pattern's good. It's not what I'm used to. I'm just going to say that because it ends up that the top of the sock has 2 more stitches than the sole of the sock. And I think that's just to keep the rib in line because it goes all the way down the top. But it's a great pattern. And Kate Atherley writes great patterns.
I see you've got a lot of little stitch markers in there.
Yes, because I needed to count. If I divide the yarn into, which maybe I should have done, and then I can do 2 at a time, I don't have to keep track the same way. But I had to make sure. So
Nice.
I did that. So I'm happy with that. I think the colors
You're
will go
ahead of the
well.
game then for that.
I am. And before I forget, I put this here. The bauble is that I made, the Christmas ball for May, that is a finished object, is from the 12 Days of Baubles Part 1, and that's by Stacey Lewis. I neglected to mention that, so I'm sorry about that. I didn't want to forget that for Stacey. Now, my last work in progress, which could take me a while, I'm using beautiful yarn. It's called Wool Interrupted, and it is merino and cashmere and nylon. And it is beautiful yarn. And this is called Cocoa Sangria. Love the color. So this is going to be, I'll let you hold that part up.
Okay.
So that's what the pattern looks like. Now you can do it with 8 different 10-gram minis. I think it was 10-gram minis. But I decided I wanted it to be just one color.
Oh, that's neat.
Exactly. So
This just goes around your neck?
it just goes around your neck. So you can wrap it around once or twice if you want 3
That's
times.
lovely.
And the lace is nice. I think it's going to be pretty.
I really like that.
I know. I can make one for
That'd
you.
be a nice, like for a cowl to have the trim around the
It
cowl too.
would be.
That's nice.
Remember I said I was going to design something for May and I haven't done it yet? Ooh, I'm in trouble. It's almost the end of July. I'm in big
Yes.
trouble. But I did say by the end of the year.
Well,
so.
you've been kind of busy.
Yeah, just a little
little
bit.
bit.
But I think designing could be fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm to the point that I'm just knitting plain. There is that skein. This yarn is beautiful. First of all, it's so soft. Now, I had to go get knitting needles. And May's like, Colleen, do you not have enough knitting needles? Now, when the suggestion by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears, who made this Endy Bits scarflet pattern, is she suggested using wooden needles. And she was right, because I was using metal needles and they were slippery and they were heavy, and I thought, I can't do a whole long scarflet with those, but these are light and lovely.
It's so funny. Colleen has stacks and stacks of
I know.
needles, and they come in a nice roll that you made for them,
Yep.
and they're all organized.
Oh, that's another thing I have to do. I've got
Yes,
some knitting
they're
needles. I
beautiful.
want to make a needle holder, so I'm going to work on that too.
But you've got needle holders and needle holders and needles and needles and needles.
I
so
do.
you can imagine my
know.
surprise when Colleen says, "I don't have the right needles." I was like,
Yeah.
I think you've got every needle there.
I know, but-
but it's never the right texture. Or
Do you want me to tell you?
Maybe it's
Here's
bamboo,
the-
and then I need wood.
I have 6-inch needles that are wooden, but you needed them to be 8-inch needles. And I had 8-inch needles, but they were metal, so it was going to be too slippery. So you know how it's Goldilocks and the Three Bears? That was me. I thought I need them that are just right. And these are lovely in the hand. And
They're very light, those
They're
needles. They
really,
are nice,
really
yeah.
light. They go flying
That might
everywhere.
make me even want to knit using a wooden. No, forget it.
Someday.
No.
Someday. She's going to knit. That's for sure.
No.
So those are my works in progress. And May, how about you, works in progress?
Well, as I mentioned before, I'm doing puzzles. So in between the takes there, I went out into the garage and I picked
Yep.
up one of my puzzles just so you would have an
Oh.
idea. I still have to put it on a stand, but this is like a dinosaur puzzle.
Look at this.
So just gives you an idea what it's like. And
Exactly.
the pieces come apart as like a puzzle, and there you go.
That is amazing.
I still have some finishing to do, but it's a work
Right.
in progress. I've got a
Right,
few of those
right.
going.
Very
And I
nice.
did a moose and some, like I said before, pigs and cows and whatever else.
a
Now-
whole menagerie out there.
Now the neighbor came over about a year ago, and he left me. He was moving, and he didn't want to take a whole bunch of stuff out of his garage.
Okay.
And so he left me these brackets.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For he had them two together like this.
Right.
And they're kind of for a shelf.
Okay, that makes sense.
For a shelf, and
Yeah.
I thought, well, I don't really need a shelf like that. I don't
Right.
really like that.
Right.
What could I make from that.
Okay.
Like, you know, what could I make? And then I thought, well, I'm into making cars. I've got all these wheels.
Right.
Why don't I just make a little sports car or
Right.
something like that? So then I designed a little sports car.
Look at that.
And
So good.
that came from that piece. Just not. It's like, kind of like you with material.
I
Like,
know.
in yarn. Like
Exactly.
this came to this. Like it's just amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just used this bottom piece for this bottom piece.
Right. For the center.
For the center part.
Right, right.
And then I had this little extra, I think it's maple.
Walnut. Did you hear that? That was me. Walnut.
Walnut on the sides.
And
I
it
had
makes
cut.
it look great.
And then I just added the wheels. Now the wheels, somebody had given me my friend Maria, who's lovely and generous. She had gone to a flea market or picked up a box or something, and it was all these wheels. And she says, I don't have any use for them. And she says, you're welcome to have them.
Wow.
So my neighbor
really
gave
nice.
me the wood. My friend gave me the wheels, and I bought this piece of walnut from the neighbors, and it wasn't too bad. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna.
And
be
now
great.
these are I've got a few of these made, but they don't have the wheels in yet.
Yeah. Work in
That's
progress.
Work in progress. Yeah. And this one still has to be stained, but they come along quite nice because the wheel
Look at
flow
that.
like that.
So
Kids would have
good.
fun with that one.
Yes.
So yeah,
Very nice.
that's that. And so a few other things going on in the garage, and I'm quite happy out there.
Great. So those are our works in progress, and next we're going to talk about our adventure.
Well, on our adventure, we went a little further north in Ontario. We went to Huntsville, Ontario, which is a lovely little community. It's about 20,000 in population.
Wow.
And it is kind of a gateway, and you've probably heard of Algonquin Park. It's a gateway to Algonquin Park,
okay.
which is a provincial park, and it is absolutely amazing. There are all kinds of wildlife up there. It's got little lakes and rivers, and it's just a beautiful place to go. So but you have to kind of get through Huntsville in order to get there.
Okay.
So it's rated, according to the Toronto Star, it was rated #1 of places to visit
Okay.
because a little touristy town.
Right,
Although it's
right.
small, it has a lot of tourists and stuff like that. And it's known for hockey players and girls hockey teams and
Oh, wow,
lacrosse
fantastic.
and typical little Northern Ontario community. But we loved it. And now they have in their main street, as you'll see here,
Right.
they have group of 7 paintings, and I think they call it the group of 7 outdoor gallery, and it's huge paintings that they have on some buildings
saw a
down
lot
the
of
town.
them, yeah.
Beautiful little town. I loved it, and it was great. And then Colleen visited the knitting store there, and you
Yeah.
can talk all about the knitting store. It was
Okay,
great. It was
I
kind
will.
of just a drive through,
Yes.
more than like let's stay there for a while.
Right, exactly.
You know.
Yeah,
so
we just
any-
had one night there.
Yes.
That's right. So we always have to go to the yarn store. So we went to the store that's called Knitting 3 Together. And there's the card, which is lovely. And there's 2 owners who are Carolyn Meisner and Shelley Mitchell. And it was Shelley that we were speaking to. Now, she was sitting at the table
with a few other people.
with a few other people, one of which is Dale. So hello, Dale.
Hi, Dale.
And she used to live in Lambeth, which is just down the road from where we are.
Yes.
So that was kind of a small
And Dale
world.
was very helpful. We ran into her on the street. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, when you go in there, we had to go to the washroom. So Dale was helpful to tell us where to go to the washroom.
Yeah.
And then we didn't run into her, but we're on the highway on the road, and she's rolled her window and was directing us how to go and where to go. So it was kind of fun. So thank you for that, Dale. Appreciate that.
That's right. Now, the store is beautiful. It's a smaller store, but it's got a big window at the front. It's nice and bright. There's lots of samples. There's a lot of sock yarn. So I was having a good time with that. Some people just come there and buy lots of sock yarn. So it was good. They had ornament kits. They had Hudson Bay blanket kits. The other thing that they had, which I wanted, was something called a felted bowl kits. So if you know how you felted by using the felted
yes.
needles.
Yes.
The other thing that you can do, which I have done, because always, you know, at Christmas there's a thing. There's just this year it's this. So one year it was you knit with 100% wool usually, and you knit whatever it is. And then you throw it in the washing machine with the agitator and hot water.
And it shrinks.
It shrinks it. It felts it. And so I made purses. I made purses for my sister and my mom. And so it was fun. So, but they had felted bowls. Same idea. So, and maybe I'll still do this. That's
We
another
still
plan.
haven't felted soap that we were going to felt. We bought the
No.
stuff to felt soap
Yes.
about a year ago,
Yeah.
and we haven't had a time to do that.
No,
we
that's
should
right.
do that. Speaking of felted soap, we have the materials.
We do have the materials.
Yes, I think we should do that.
Okay. We
Maybe
have
f-
such a list of things we should do.
So
I would say
little
that.
time, so many
That's
things to do.
right. That's right. But the store was lovely. Like, I would definitely recommend that store. Shelley was really helpful.
Great atmosphere in that store.
Exactly. And
Yep.
they had lots of notions and knitting needles and, as I said, lots of lovely yarn and samples. So it was really good. So
And if we
thank you,
didn't have to
Shelley.
go to the washroom, we may have stayed longer.
Stay a little longer. Sometimes nature calls when you don't want it to. That's for sure. So it was very brief. As he said, we just basically, we drove there.
But you know how when you drive into these little towns in Ontario,
Yeah.
you get a real feel for some of them, right?
Yeah,
and
that's right.
this was one of the ones I got
Yeah.
a real feel for. It was a really,
Absolutely.
really friendly, happy, happening little place. It was
That's
lovely.
right.
So that's probably
That's
why it's
right.
ranked number one to go visit. So
That's right. So thank you so much, Shelley. We did have a good time. And Dale, thanks for the directions because that was helpful too. So next we're going to talk about our souvenirs. Well, May, do you have any souvenirs?
I do have lots of wood in the garage for my souvenirs, but I can't bring that down to the
No, that would be difficult.
podcast. It would be a little difficult. But I have to remember, last time I forgot to mention this. When we visited, you have to go check out our last podcast, and it was our visit to our friend Kathy's up in that area.
Yes. Near Halliburton.
Near
Yeah.
Halliburton.
Yep.
Yes, and it was beautiful. And we showed you her cottage, so you might want to check that out, that last podcast.
Right.
And also, I forgot to mention about Kathy, and they have on their, I think they have 7 acres, and on that 7 acres they have maple trees, and so that they make maple syrup in her free time. She has lots of free time too, I'm sure. I can't believe that they do this, but they went on YouTube and figured out how to take the sap from the tree and make maple syrup. And
right.
Kathy was kind enough, and Paul were kind enough to gift us some of
Look
their
at
maple
this
syrup
maple
that they
syrup.
sell. Now they sell it at the little booths, and they said it sold right out like very quickly.
Yeah.
I can't believe this came from my friend's maple tree.
I know. It's amazing.
It's just amazing. So I can't wait to try it, and
That's
looking
right.
forward to the pancakes we're going to have with that. And if you do have maple trees in your place, you should give it a shot.
There we go.
I have a niece out east, Nova Scotia, and she has 200 acres. Now I don't know if she has any maple trees. I should
don't know.
ask her.
That's right.
Because she too could make this. But I don't know where they get the bottles from or whatever.
I don't know.
But it's
really
kind of
neat.
cool. Yeah,
absolutely.
So thank you for that. And also, I guess we weren't bad guests because Kathy and Paul have invited us back for a few days in August. So I can't wait to share that adventure with you.
Exactly.
And hopefully we'll have tried this by then, and I can let her know how it worked out.
Sounds good.
All
All right. So that's May's souvenirs. So once again, knitting 3 together. Lots of sock yarn. Now, once again, May's going to laugh at me. She's going to say,
You bought needles?
I bought a knitting
Oh.
needle. All right. So let me explain to you my knitting needle. So normally when I buy souvenirs, I don't use them until we've shown the podcast. But I must confess that part of the reason why I bought this was I was knitting socks while we were on our way. And for some reason, in my infinite wisdom, I put my one sock, I was doing magic loop, on a 40-inch needle. And it just means every time you're pulling it that much more. And I thought, well, if they have what I needed in a 32-inch needle instead of a 40-inch needle, I would buy it. So I have used this lovely knitting needle. It works fantastic, and it is in fact a 32-inch 2.25 needle, and made my holiday much nicer when I was making my socks.
Funny that you did that. I had no idea when we taped before.
Yeah.
I had no idea when I was talking about the needles and you buying needles. I didn't know that you had this in a souvenir.
I know. But I have to tell you, right now I've got 2 or 3 socks on the go. So just trust me, this is going to be used for sure. Now, sock needle, sock yarn. So I found this lovely yarn, which is Harvest Fingering Extra Fine Merino, and it feels lovely. It says it's made in Turkey. It's beautiful. The color is brilliant.
Oh, yes,
Now,
nice
I
and
was
soft.
was debating whether May needed a cowl, whether she needed socks.
Is
What
it
do you
the
think?
color?
Oh, it's beautiful on you. So that was, we'll just have to decide. We're going to talk to the boss
You.
This one, we're going to talk to the boss and see what she would like.
Okay.
And then we'll work on that. So
Sounds
it's a
good.
nice
I love
way
the color. I really
and
like
it's
the
nice
color.
and
Yes,
soft.
nice
Like,
and soft. Very
I think
nice.
it'll be good. So that is my souvenirs. We've got some maple syrup. I think pancakes for dinner, perhaps. We might do
that's
that.
a good idea. I like
Exactly.
pancakes for dinner. That's great.
Mhm.
We have
Sometimes
this.
I do.
We have this pancake mix we get at Costco, and it's got lots of protein in it, and they're actually quite nice. You just add water. And
Yep.
Even I could make those pancakes.
Yes, you could.
Yes.
And yet she doesn't want to. Oh dear.
Oh.
So thank you so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up, comment down below,
Ring that bell.
subscribe. We're so close to 2,000.
Yes, and if we get more subscribers, we're going to have a giveaway, so you might want to subscribe now, and
That's
then
right.
you can be part of the giveaway because you have to subscribe anyway. It's
That's
a
right.
whole thing.
Exactly. So anyway, we're working. We're almost there. It's so close.
Yes.
And whenever I see that number, because I'll check usually every day, that number, then I think, remember when we thought it'd be amazing if 10 people watched us?
Yes.
Yeah. And here we are, close to
10,000.
2,000.
Yes, that's good.
So it's amazing. So please subscribe, because we really do enjoy doing this for you, and we like having our little treks. And we're going to have to put some new adventures in.
We are.
We're still working through. We've got a couple more spots that we visited on our way home from Huntsville, and then from there
We'll have to take another adventure. We're
Exactly.
going back up that way, so maybe
Exactly.
we can hit them back again or do
Ooh.
something different
I know.
on the way up or something.
that Muskoka yarn connection calling to me. But we'll have to see. Anyway, thanks again, and until next time.